Today we're going to learn about early Christianity in the Roman Empire. Christianity is the religion based in the life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. While Christianity is rooted in the ideas and teachings of Judaism, it developed as a separate faith in the ancient world. As we learned earlier in the year, one of the four important beliefs of Judaism is obedience and the law. Ancient Jews followed a variety of moral and religious laws. They believed that God gave the laws to prophets throughout their history. The prophets taught the Jews that if they strictly followed the laws, that a new leader would appear. They called this new leader the Messiah. Messiah means God's anointed one in Hebrew. According to the prophets, the new leader would be a descendant of King David, and when he came would restore the kingdom of Israel. Soon after the Romans took over Judea in 63 BC, many Jews rebelled against their authority. They also began believing that the Messiah would soon appear to lead them to victory. Jewish prophets wandered throughout Judea announcing that the Messiah was coming, and many Jews anxiously awaited his arrival. Jesus of Nazareth, the man many people in Judea believed was the Jewish Messiah, lived at the beginning of the 1st century AD. Most of what we know about Jesus and his life is contained in the Bible, which is the holy text of Christianity. It is made up of two parts. The first part, the Old Testament, is largely the same as the Hebrew Bible. The second part, the New Testament, is an account of the life and teachings of Jesus, as well as the early history of Christianity. According to the Christian Bible, Jesus was born in a town called Bethlehem at the end of the 1st century BC. In our dating system, his birth marks the shift from BC to AD. BC referring to events before Christ, a title later given to Jesus, and AD referring to events that occurred in Anno Domini, which is Latin for in the year of our Lord. While Jesus' mother Mary was married to a carpenter named Joseph, Christians believe that God, not Joseph, was Jesus' father. As a young man, Jesus probably studied with Joseph to be a carpenter. Like most young Jewish men of the time, he also studied the laws and teachings of Judaism. By the time he was about 30, Jesus had begun to travel and teach about religion. As a teacher, Jesus attracted many followers. As he traveled throughout Judea, he greatly influenced many who listened to his message. But at the same time, his teachings challenged the authority of political and religious leaders. According to the Bible, Roman leaders arrested Jesus while he was in Jerusalem around AD 30. They simply saw him as another Jewish rebel leader, and because of that, he was sentenced to death. Shortly after his arrest, the Romans executed Jesus. They used a common execution technique called crucifixion, which comes from the Latin word for cross. This usually involved tying a person to a cross and leaving them to suffocate under their own weight. But in the case of Jesus, the Romans decided to nail him to the cross. After Jesus died, his followers buried him. According to Christian beliefs, Jesus rose from the dead 3 days after he was crucified. Christians refer to Jesus' rise from the dead as the resurrection. After the resurrection, several groups of Jesus' followers, called disciples, claimed to see him again. Early Christians believed that the resurrection was a sign that Jesus was the Messiah and the Son of God. Some people began to call him Jesus Christ, from the Greek word for Messiah, which is Christos. It is from this word that the words Christian and Christianity later develop.